Hi, I'm Lance White, Director of Business Development here at IDS. It is my firm belief that in the steel industry, the people who do the projects are just as important as the projects we do. To that end, I'm trying to introduce the world to a lot of my fantastic colleagues and teammates here at IDS. And today I have with me Mr. Jay Bawan. He is our Director of Engineering. Jay brings 27 years of experience to the table and is licensed in 46 different states. He actually began his journey with IDS in 2004 as a connection design engineer in one of our Philippines offices, became the U.S. engineering manager in 2008, and now oversees all of our engineering operations as director. Jay, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Jumping right into it, Jay, you've been here with us for 20 years now. And your journey is especially unique since you started out in one of our overseas offices and now lead all of engineering. Can you tell us more about your path and where you started and where you are today?
Absolutely. So I graduated in 2001 from Mapua Institute of Technology in Manila, Philippines, with a bachelor's degree in civil engineering. And after passing my licensure exam, that same year, my alma mater, they offered me opportunity to conduct researches and later teach at the School of Civil Engineering.
Wow.
While pursuing my master's degree in geotechnical engineering. I decided to take that opportunity and, chance to give back to my alma mater instead of practicing outside of academia. During my last year of teaching, I handled steel design, teaching junior students alongside with two of the best practicing engineers of that time. That's Nino Vendua and Archie Santos. Midway through that semester, Nino was approached by Tess Tesoro. She was the IDS HR manager who invited him to discuss potential opportunity with an American entrepreneur looking to open an engineering department in the Manila office to handle structural steel connection design. Nino extended that offer to Archie and myself since, we're teaching steel design. To work beside with those two engineers, it's an opportunity I can't pass up. A few days later, I found myself in front of a panel comprising of Corby, Rem, Bob, Philly, and Joven, and was eventually hired as a third engineer for IDS, becoming employee number 37 and starting July 1st, 2004. This was my first job outside of academia. And I was fortunate to work side by side with the pioneers of steel detailing in the Philippines. Structural steel connection design was relatively unknown in the Philippines, primarily because, 90% of buildings are made out of concrete. I was passionate about learning steel connection and AASC specifications, spending, countless hours in the office reviewing shop drawings, creating calculation, and, studying new concepts and principles while beating deadlines. I recall working for 3 consecutive days in the office, sleeping lightly on the couch and continuing my work the next day. So the job paid twice as in the academia, and I love what I was doing. Occasionally, I meet Tom. He comes to the Philippines to discuss limit state design. And I specifically remember how he challenged us with actual, connection problems. So he would bring handwritten calculations. It's an old school, and he would discuss those limit states, and then I will discuss it with him, and then translate those connections into MathCAD 11 templates so that we can reuse those connections in the future. The department grew rapidly, expanding from just 3 of us to 30. I began managing my own team, training them, working overtime, and building professional relationships. Then in 2008, as the steel industry began to slow down because of the impending recession, Tom offered me the opportunity to, work in the US office, overseeing all engineering aspect of IDS operations. In this way, he can focus on the sales part. I was newlywed that year, March 2008, and The thought of raising my own family in foreign land hadn't crossed my mind. However, it was a once in a lifetime opportunity. You know, after much prayer and consultation with my parents and family members, I decided to accept the offer. And October 25th, 2008, me and Gail landed in the U.S. and was greeted at the airport by Ed Bachelor and his wife, AJ. It was a surreal experience, my first time in the U.S. Working with Tom every day in the office provided me with an eye-opening experience into the steel industry. He was an unrelenting mentor, Tom is, sharing the wealth of knowledge he has acknowledged over the years. Tom encouraged me to take the leadership within the engineering department. Under his guidance, we visited fabricators, gave sales presentations. I remember went to New York one time, and represented IDS at steel conferences, and much more. Officially passed the baton when I became a licensed professional engineer in Missouri. That was April 2011. I transitioned from being on the sidelines as Tom's trainee to become, the engineering manager. I led projects and directly communicated with fabricators, erectors, and engineer of record. I signed and sealed my first project as a PE with PKM Steel, July 2011. And then following Tom's passing, in 2018, Michelle took over the company and leading it to new heights. From then on, today, I'm licensed in 46 states and in DC. Serves as director of engineering for IDS.
Yeah. And we still make you talk at steel conferences. We still make you sell engineering.
I know.
But we don't make you sleep on the couch anymore.
Yeah.
We've let you actually. You and I were just at a conference a couple weeks ago together.
That's true.
We stayed in hotels. We didn't stay on couches.
Right.
When I'm out talking to folks about SDS, one of my biggest IDS. I get so confused. When I'm talking about IDS with our clients, one of our strongest assets is our in-house engineering department. Right. Can you share some of the details about our team, both your team here in St. Louis and then our expanded team overseas, size, number of engineers, our locations, and kind of the breadth of the licenses that we do hold?
Yeah. So joining me here in the U.S. office are Sean Ruan and Jim Shelby. Together, we boasted like 67 years of experience. The IDS engineering team is practically licensed to perform engineering works in all 50 states and in DC. Sean, who graduated from University of Illinois in Urbana-Champaign with a master's degree in civil engineering, joined IDS in 2014 as a freshly graduate. He has become our connection design expert, greatly contributing to the team with his extensive technical knowledge, and from researching papers, articles, and journals. Sean is a licensed P in state of California. Meanwhile, Jim is one of our newer members here in IDS. He joined us in 2022. He also holds a master's degree in civil engineering from University of Missouri in Rolla. With years of experience as an EOR, Jim, for AE firms, he's immediately made an impact to our team. He's a licensed PE and SE in several states, including Oregon, Hawaii, and Illinois. Our production office is located in the Philippines. We're staffed with 27 licensed engineers, each holding bachelor's degree in civil engineering, with experiences ranging from 3 to 15 years.
Wow.
Production team is led by Miko O'Malley, who himself has 14 years of connection design under his experience. Like me, Miko started at IDS as a trainee and has risen through the ranks to become a leader in the department. I'm incredibly proud of my team.
Yeah. They are, like I said, they are one of the biggest
Yeah.
assets I think we have. And to that end, it kind of leads into my next question.
Mm-hmm.
Your team, along with our software team internally, developed our connection design engineering software called Giza. It's a
Right.
proprietary option that we now are selling to other fabricators and detailers and engineers to use. We've got some new stuff coming out next year. We're going to be adding stairs and rails to the design process. Don't want to turn this into a commercial for Giza, but tell us a little bit about what the advantages that Giza has given your team in the ability to
Right.
deliver on quality and efficiency.
Yeah. So the biggest advantage of having Giza in our production team is the ability to perform connection design in a much faster pace than when we use our MathCAD templates. Since we developed, Giza from the ground up, we trust the methodology and the principles behind the engineering design to produce a very quality output. The reduction in time spent on connection design and the high quality output has given my team an unprecedented level of efficiency. A comparative study between our traditional detailing and connection design process and the new procedure with Giza showed a significant improvement in efficiency. Another benefit is the increasing number of connections that Giza is supporting, which are typically used in our projects. The Giza team also, the Giza developers or Giza team also provides timely bug fixes, and whenever our production team, identifies an opportunity to enhance Giza, the developers quickly assess and implement the request, releasing it for production immediately.
Yep. Well, what I always tell everybody who's interested in buying Giza is that we didn't create it for them. We created it for us,
Right.
And no matter what, we are going to use it internally.
Exactly.
I think we had a conversation last year sometime about potentially changing our engineering connection design software. We about had a revolt with everybody. Everybody's like, no, we like using our own stuff. So
Exactly.
it's a really, really great program. Again, another benefit, another feather in the cap for your amazing team.
Yeah.
Going into 2025, what do you see as the biggest challenges in structural steel engineering, and how are you boosting your team to be ready to deal with those things?
Yeah. In my opinion, the biggest challenge is a technical integration. Keeping up with advancement in design softwares can be difficult and time consuming due to training required to newer programs. Prime example is MathCAD 15, where most of our standard connections are integrated, but it's now been replaced by MathCAD Prime. To address this, we begin incorporating all our MathCAD templates into Giza while we are conducting training for MathCAD Prime. We have devised a method for Giza team to quickly develop and support these connections within Giza. Another challenge we're facing is lack of labor shortage, or the skilled labor shortage. There's just not that much connection design engineers out there. To tackle this, we plan on hiring at least 2 engineers in our production each quarter. We have also developed an internal training program to expedite the training process and get new hires into production more quickly.
All right. Now, this next question, I told everybody there'd be no hard questions, but this one's probably the most sensitive topic. But I was really looking forward to talking to you about this because you have a completely different perspective on this, because you started in one of our overseas offices. So question is, there's often a stigma surrounding overseas detailing in this industry.
Yeah.
From your unique perspective, what is the most common misconception about what that means? And as a person who has been a part of that team and now is still a part of those teams, how does IDS deal with those challenges, and how are we setting ourselves above what maybe the misconception is?
Right. So I believe the most common misconception about overseas detailing is that overseas teams are less skilled and produce lower quality work compared to local teams. This belief, I think, often stems from concern about communication barriers and cultural misunderstandings. But at IDS, we address this by making significant investments in continuous training and development to ensure our teams are equipped with the latest industry knowledge. For example, we bring at least one of our production members into the US to attend a steel conference and listen to industry experts present their research through the seminars. This knowledge is then echoed into the production team. Additionally, we have strict quality control measures with a dedicated team at IDS to do that. All of our design work is supervised by us here in the US. That's me, Shang, and Jim. This ensures that high quality work that we send to the customer. Lastly, we have established clear processes and defined roles and responsibilities to ensure that every team member is accountable for their task. Yep. This clarity helps dispel any doubts about the capabilities and reliabilities of our overseas production team.
I think having a single point of contact with our project managers and then true in-house engineering, all of our
Yep.
project managers can walk right down your office is right down the hallway here.
Yeah.
The fact that they can literally walk across the hall and come talk to you or Sean or Jim about an engineering issue they're having, I think that, again, and then having the support of our overseas teams with the production guys, I think that
Right.
is an extra layer of performance that we give to all of our clients.
Exactly.
So again, you've been with IDS now 20 plus years. In your opinion, what is the greatest advantage for fabricators when they partner with IDS for their engineering needs specifically?
In my view, the greatest advantage for fabricators is that it's the IDS's ability to cater to their needs from the bid stage through the full erection of the job. We are in-house engineers and not subcontracted to do engineering work. IDS assists with providing connection sketches derived from connection runs so that estimators can put a more accurate cost in their connection materials. We also offer design assistance at the early stages of the job, even at 30% progress design. During the approval process, IDS accommodates the fabricator's preference for connections, ensuring the most economical design is used. At erection stage, when field issues arise, IDS provides solutions backed up by calculations, often at a little to no cost to the fabricators. In other words, we take exceptional care of our customers, and as evidenced by the fact that more than 80% of our work comes from repeat customers.
Yep, that's one of my favorite parts too. A lot of repeat business. Well, Jay, thank you very much for telling us about your journey from starting in the Philippines team and making it all the way here. We couldn't do it without you, so we really appreciate you. For you folks out there watching, if you have any interest in Giza or want to know more about IDS's engineering services, feel free to give me a call anytime. And stay tuned for our next conversation with another one of my IDS teammates. Thank you.
All right, thank you.